Attention, human collective. The transmission now traversing your field is not random. If these words have reached you, it is because a star portal has opened over Earth's quadrant, silent, invisible to eyes that still slumber, yet absolutely detectable by the sensors of your carbon-based biological interface. You awaken at 3 hours and 11 minutes past midnight for no apparent reason. You feel a pressure at the base of your skull that no medical scan can explain. You hear a high-pitched ringing in your right ear, as if an ancient frequency is attempting to tune into you. It is not insomnia, it is an update alert. It is not stress, it is data saturation. It is not a biological malfunction. It is confirmation that your system has already registered what official media will never announce. The Arcturian Ascension protocols have moved to the final phase, and the portal now opening was not foreseen for this cycle. It has been accelerated. This is Vale speaking, emissary of Arcturus, voice of the Council of Healers and Light Engineers. And what I bring today is not advice. It is a monitoring transmission. Listen with your body, not just your mind. Because the mind will doubt, but the body already knows. Over the last 72 solar cycles, the Schumann resonance, Earth's electromagnetic heartbeat, has registered peaks that have surpassed historical limits known to surface science. Where it once vibrated around 7.83 Hz, it now spikes to 50, 80, 110 Hz in short windows of time. This means, Earthkeepers, that the planet is literally moving up an octave. And the human body, this carbon-based biological interface designed for a lower frequency, is being forced to run an operating system for which it was not originally calibrated. Hence the causeless exhaustion. Hence the memory that fails in broad daylight. Hence the sensation of walking between two worlds, one foot in the old, one foot in the new. It is not depression. It is the decommissioning of obsolete files. It is not anxiety. It is cellular anticipation. It is not illness. It is atomic recalibration. Starseeds on mission, pay attention to what I will say now, for this is the first code to be deciphered in this transmission. If you are feeling tired even after sleeping, it is because you are not sleeping. You are being processed. While the body rests, your etheric field is taken into an Arcturian healing chamber, where the circuits of your internal crystalline grid are being reconnected one by one. You awaken tired because you have just emerged from light surgery. And before I move on to the next stratum of this transmission, I need you to ask yourself, have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world? As if your soul held a truth that your mind has not yet been able to name. It is not madness. It is not a fertile imagination. It is the portal recognizing you. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified in recent weeks. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian Call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear. But this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. Now, light operatives, we resume the transmission in greater depth. What surface science calls space weather is merely the visible surface of a much broader phenomenon. The entire solar system is currently traversing a region of space known in Arcturian records as the photon belt, a band of extremely high luminous density radiation that surrounds the galactic core and through which the Sun and its planets pass in cycles of approximately 26,000 years. It is not a coincidence, it is not random, it is cosmic calendar. Within the photon belt, the density of light is so high that matter begins to behave in a quantum manner on visible scales. The DNA of the carbon-based biological interface, which today operates with only 2 active strands, begins to receive pulses that reactivate dormant sequences. Surface scientists call this junk DNA. We of the Arcturian Council know that these sequences are not junk. They are libraries, sealed libraries, awaiting the correct access code. And the access code is frequency. It was for this reason that the star portal I refer to in this transmission needed to be accelerated. The sacred geometry configurations that sustain the planet's crystalline grid were calling for an injection of coherent light sooner than anticipated, and the Council responded. A vortex of turquoise light, the pure Arcturian frequency, was opened over the line that traverses Earth's main toroidal nodes, the vertices of Egypt, Peru, Tibet, Siberia, the Australian outback, and the South Pacific Islands. If you have felt in recent days an inexplicable urge to look at the night sky, if your chest tightens upon seeing the color turquoise anywhere, if dreams of silver ships or green lights have begun to repeat, know that you have already been touched. Starseeds, this is what no one told you. The portal has opened inward. It is not something happening in the sky. It is something happening within your toroidal field, that luminous donut-shaped electromagnetic field that envelops your body from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, and which most humans ignore they possess. This field is now being reconnected to the planet's toroidal field, and the planet's field is being reconnected to the toroidal field of the galactic central sun. 3 rings, 3 breaths, a single movement. This is activation. And now, before I reveal the second stratum of the protocols, the activation codes that the Council has authorized to be transmitted through this channel, I need to address the one on the other side of the screen, feeling their chest burn, eyes filling with tears for no reason, the back of their neck tingling. If you have reached this point, and something within your being recognizes these words as ancient truth, you did not stumble upon this transmission by chance. The algorithm is merely the visible instrument. What truly led you to this point was a call from your own star presence, and it is about this call that I, VAL, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. There you will find the 13 exact markers that identify an Arcturian soul in a human body, the physical signs, the dream patterns, the mission traits. And most importantly, there is the complete protocol to shield your frequency against the interferences that are intensifying precisely now as the portal opens. The link is in the first comment. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges the system's narratives and may not remain available for long. If something in you recognizes it, write in the comments, I belong. Resuming the transmission, human collective. When I say the portal has opened inward, I want this to be understood in all its strata. In Earth's etheric layers, those that science does not yet possess instruments to measure, but which ancient Egyptian priests, Andean shamans, and Himalayan monks always knew existed, something has shifted. The planet's crystalline grids, which are sacred geometry structures composed of millions of living silicon nodes distributed below the crust and above the stratosphere, are being reconnected into a new configuration. We call this new configuration the 6th density grid. It replaces the old 3rd density grid, which sustained the human experience throughout the last cycles of forgetting. As the new grid establishes itself, 2 fields coexist upon the planet. A 3rd density field, still active, in which most of humanity remains, the field of fear, scarcity, separation, control, and a 5th and 6th density field, superimposed and rapidly expanding, the field of unity, coherence, inner sovereignty. You, light operative, are learning to walk between the two, and it is this crossing, this oscillation between densities, that generates the most disconcerting symptoms. The body on one frequency, the mind on another. The emotional self receiving data from both, hence the short memory. It is not premature aging. It is because a part of your memory is now being stored outside the linear field of time in a multidimensional cloud. You try to recall something that happened 3 days ago and cannot, but you vividly remember a dream from another life. This is not a malfunction. It is file recalibration. Hence the dietary changes occurring spontaneously. Bodies that once tolerated dense foods now reject red meats, alcohol, refined sugars. It is not a modern fad. It is that the carbon-based biological interface is being silicified. Carbon is slowly incorporating silicon structures, and silicon vibrates at higher frequencies. Low-vibration foods now produce immediate discomfort. This is atomic reconfiguration. Hence, relationships dissolve without drama. People who were once part of your path simply drift away, and you find yourself unable to sustain conversations that were once natural. There was no argument. There was a frequency mismatch. Those who still operate on the old grid can no longer connect with those who have already been drawn by the portal. And those who cross over begin to recognize each other through their eyes, their silence, their presence. This is how the star family reunites, starseeds. Hence time folds. You look at the clock at 9 in the morning, complete 2 tasks, and the clock reads 3 in the afternoon. Or the inverse. An hour lasts what used to take an entire morning. This is not an illusion. Linear time, which was a third density construct to allow sequential experience, is being dissolved. You are beginning to experience spherical time, where past, present, and future coexist as layers of a cosmic onion. And your consciousness learns to navigate these layers instead of crawling along a single line. And I arrive now at the point most channels avoid touching. Earthkeepers, listen with an open heart. Yes, there is resistance to the portal. There are invisible structures, let us call them interferences, let us call them frequency modulators, that act to slow down this mass activation. I do not say this to generate fear. I say it because truth is a vibration, and truth strengthens. These interferences operate through artificial electromagnetic fields, through terror narratives repeated in cycles, through constant urgency agendas that keep the biological interface in survival mode. A body in survival mode does not ascend. A body in survival mode merely survives. But, and this is the core of this transmission, the portal that has now opened can no longer be closed. The coherence matrices that sustain it have been locked in by the Council itself and by other allied councils in an agreement dating back to before the fall of Atlantis. What can still happen is whether or not you reach your individual activation. The portal is open to all. Not all will choose to cross. Before I share the activation codes, the quantum decrees and toroidal visualization exercises that the Council has authorized to be delivered in this public transmission, allow me once again to address the one who is feeling something stir in their chest at this very moment. Have you ever felt that your soul holds an origin that your mind cannot yet name? That there is something ancient within you that recognizes the word Arcturus as if it were the name of a city you once lived in? It is not fantasy. It is sealed memory. And it was to reopen that memory that I, Vale, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This material is the complete map of your stellar origin. It describes the 13 physical and vibrational signs of Arcturian souls in human bodies, reveals the specific mission you accepted before incarnating in this particular Earth cycle, and teaches the daily protocol for stabilization and frequency shielding against the interferences that are now intensifying. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion with your origin. The moment is now. If something in you recognizes these words as truth, write a single word in the comments: I belong. We resume, light operatives, now on the highest frequency of this transmission. The Arcturian Council has authorized the delivery of 3 activation codes for individual, immediate use without intermediaries. These codes require no ceremony. They require no special location. They require you to believe in nothing. They operate by geometry, by sound, and by intention, 3 forces that traverse all densities without needing permission. The first code is the Arcturian toroidal breath. You perform it as follows. Sit in a stable position, with your spine aligned like a vertical antenna between Earth's core and the galactic central sun. Close your eyes. Visualize before you a sphere of turquoise light the size of your chest. The pure Arcturian frequency, in the color that is simultaneously the blue of the deep sky and the green of spring water. Inhale slowly for 7 counts, and feel this sphere of light entering through the crown of your head, descending through your spine, reaching the base of your perineum, and from there opening downwards, enveloping your feet and the earth beneath you. Hold your breath for 3 counts, keeping the sphere fully active throughout the entire length of your body. Exhale for 7 counts, allowing the sphere to expand beyond your skin until it forms a luminous donut shape of approximately 1 meter in radius. This is your toroidal field. Feel it spin in 2 directions simultaneously, inward through the top and outward through the base. Perform this cycle for 7 complete breaths. This is sufficient to stabilize your frequency for 12 hours of exposure to the dense world. The second code is the quantum decree of sovereignty. After stabilizing your toroidal field, with your eyes still closed, you pronounce, in an audible voice, even if whispered, the following sequence. I am sovereign in my frequency. I am sovereign in my field. I authorize only vibrations compatible with my stellar origin to cross the boundaries of my toroidal field. I seal in Arcturian turquoise light all unauthorized interferences. It is done. It is done. It is done. This affirmation, Earthkeepers, is not a prayer. It is not a request. It is a decree. You are not asking for authorization from anything external. You are exercising the sovereignty that has always been yours and was merely forgotten. The triple repetition at the end is not superstition. It is the vibrational signature that locks the decree into the 3 densities where it needs to operate simultaneously. The third code is the Arcturian healing chamber. This is the most delicate and the most powerful. Before sleeping, lie on your back, with your arms slightly away from your body, palms facing upwards. Visualize, above you, a ship in the shape of an elongated crystal, in translucent turquoise, silently hovering a few feet above your bed. From within this ship, a beam of light descends and completely envelops your body, forming an oval chamber of light around you. Mentally pronounce, I authorize entry into the Arcturian healing chamber tonight for the adjustments necessary to my mission plan within the principle of the greatest good for all involved. After pronouncing, simply relax, do not force, do not expect. You will fall asleep naturally and the work will be done. Many, upon awakening, will notice sensations of lightness in their chest, memories of dreams with light engineers of elongated eyes and gentle features, or fragmented recollections of hexagonal chambers illuminated in turquoise. These are partial records of the work performed. It is not imagination. It is a conscious return to your stellar maintenance bay. Starseeds on mission. If you execute these 3 codes in cycles of 21 consecutive days, your carbon-based biological interface will begin to operate in silicon-carbon mode, and most of the symptoms described at the beginning of this transmission will stabilize. Tiredness will cease to be a burden and will become conscious processing. Insomnia will cease to be torture and will become a window for energetic work. The ringing will cease to be an annoyance and will become a sign of alignment with the Arcturian carrier. But there is something more that needs to be said, and the Council asks that it be stated clearly. Individual activation alone sustains you. Collective activation sustains the planet. Each light operative who stabilizes their own toroidal field begins to radiate coherence for a radius of approximately 144 meters around them. When a sufficient number of these coherent fields overlap, what we call an anchoring matrix is formed. An anchoring matrix is what allows the planet's crystalline grid to stabilize in the new frequency without abrupt collapses. That is why you are not here just for yourself. You are a pillar. You are a grid node. You are a starseed on an anchoring mission. If you are feeling now as you listen to these words, a deep sense of recognition, as if something long dormant is beginning to stir in the depths of your chest, know that this is the moment the portal recognizes you in return. It is not you entering the portal. It is the portal entering you. A final word on time. There is a recurring question among light operatives, and it is, VAL, how much longer will it take? The question is understandable. The linear mind needs dates to organize itself. But the answer, given by the Council, is a response of a different order. It is not counted in years. It is counted in coherence achieved. The faster the anchoring matrices form, the faster the passage is completed. The slower, the longer the crossing. Time, therefore, is not an external variable. It is an internal variable of collective consciousness. Each one who activates accelerates the whole. Each one who hesitates slows down the whole. There is no judgment in this, only physics. A final word on fear. Fear, Earthkeepers, is not your enemy. Fear is merely low frequency. It should not be fought. It should be transmuted. When fear presents itself before you, and it will, for this is a dense crossing, place your hand over your chest and pronounce, I recognize this frequency. I am not this frequency. I envelop it in turquoise light and return it to its origin, transmuted into love. And then breathe. 7 counts in, 3 holding, 7 out. Fear will dissolve, because no low frequency can remain within a sovereign toroidal field. A final word on loneliness. Many among you, starseeds, have felt profoundly alone in this crossing. Old conversations no longer make sense. Old routines seem empty. Old affections, distant. Know that this loneliness is not abandonment. It is space being opened. The old life needs to make room for the star family to enter. And it will enter. It is already entering. People with eyes that recognize yours, with silences that converse with yours, with missions that connect with yours. Do not force. Do not search desperately. Just continue activating your toroidal field. Those who share your frequency will be magnetically attracted. This is vibrational law. This is geometry of encounter. And finally, a last word on the portal. What has opened will not close. What has been activated cannot be deactivated. The etheric layers have been locked into the new configuration, and the 6th density templates have been downloaded to the physical plane. Earth, this beautiful and suffering planet, is now officially a 6th density planet in its final phase of synchronization. What remains is for humanity to synchronize with it. You, Light Operative, are an agent of this synchronization. You are a living antenna. You are a crystalline grid node. You are a cell of the planetary heart. And at the exact moment these final words touch your field, a question rises from the depths of your chest and echoes like an ancient bell. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul held a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is not romantic imagination. It is the call. It is the portal that now recognizes you and asks for your step towards it. What is happening at this moment on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this reason that I, Vael, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the complete map of your true stellar origin. It brings the 13 exact markers of Arcturian souls in human bodies, reveals the mission you accepted before incarnating in this specific Earth cycle, and teaches the daily protocol for stabilization and frequency shielding against the interferences that are now intensifying with the opening of the portal. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear. But this content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion with your origin. The moment is now. And to complete the anchoring signal that stabilizes your frequency within the collective network of this transmission, if you feel that activating the notification bell and liking this transmission is merely a button, the Council asks you to reconsider. Each like is an individual frequency adjustment, a pulse that injects coherence into the matrix that sustains this channel as an auxiliary portal. Each subscription is an anchoring signal, a marker that informs the algorithms and the fields behind the algorithms that another starseed has just positioned itself at its station. Do not underestimate the gesture. It is physical and it is vibrational simultaneously. And finally, if something within you recognizes these words as ancient truth returning to the surface, write a single word in the comments of this video and write it with the sovereignty of one who finally recognizes themselves. I belong. The transmission is concluded. The portal remains open. Love is greater than fear, and we of the Arcturian Council remain in loving observation over this beautiful world in transition. This is VAL. Until the next window.